people.
Where you are.
We're back. All right. We are so glad to have Marianne back. Marianne, you are feeling better. You are back amongst the living with us.
I'm telling you, I can't believe I lost 2 weeks. Unbelievable. But yep, I'm back among the living.
So, right off the bat, we have Karen. Here's hoping Marianne is healthy once again. We all love you. Rebecca, so glad you're back. Helen says, good morning. A delight to know you are well. Amy, good morning. I hope everyone is feeling well. Helen is yay. And Rebecca, do you feel better?
I
So,
do feel
I mean,
better.
Marianne,
I'm
you are
still,
a
yeah,
feisty, fun lady. It was a good.
I feel better. I'm still tired. I'm still taking it a little slow, but I'm just not a person that can sit and lay and watch TV because I don't really watch TV. So, got to get caught up here.
And let me apologize to everybody in advance. I am currently down in Tucson. And as you can see the mountain behind me, what we don't see are cell phone towers. So if we lag, if we drop, if anything like that happens, it's my fault. I'm in the middle of the desert on the one side of Tucson, apparently, where there's no service. So bear with us and we'll try to keep up. Pay more attention to Marianne than me because I may go fuzzy. So if you are new to what we do here on Wednesday mornings, Marianne is live and you are more than welcome in the comments having to do with earthbound spirits, ghosts, how portals work, negative energy, curses. We'll throw fairies in there. So glad your back's coming up. Though, until we start getting questions, I was going to ask your opinion on this. I saw listed online on one of those more teenage geared social media platforms where it was put out there that portals are caused by too many mirrors facing one another, which is why the Stanley Hotel is considered to be so haunted, is because of all the mirrors in the hallways. And while I mumbled bullshit under my breath, I figured, let's ask Marianne.
I
What's
will
your take on that?
second your mumble. The Stanley Hotel's old, and I'm sure that they didn't have those kind of mirrors. Portals can be in mirrors, but that has nothing to do with how many ghosts are in some place. So, in my opinion, absolutely not. Is no, absolutely not. And before I forget and we go any farther, we want questions today, but I need to thank everybody for the prayers. And I believe that I'd still be in the hospital if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you so very, very much. Ted and I appreciated it so much. I can't believe that many people sent prayers. So thank you. Okay, let's get some ghost questions or something.
Well, Helen asks, Marianne, I'm considering moving into an apartment above a funeral home. Do you have any advice or warnings about living in such a place?
Helen, that would be probably one of the safest places that you could go to. Ghosts do come to the viewing to see who comes to see them and pay their respects, but they'll go home with the family until the final memorial service. So, nope, 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 nope. And ghosts don't hang out in funeral homes because usually that's where the body is prepared. And in all the years that I've done this, I've only known 2 or 3 spirits that actually watch their body be prepared. Seriously, who really wants to do that? So no, you would be fine, absolutely fine, living on top of the funeral home, nice and quiet.
Problems only come if it's no longer a funeral home.
Yeah, and
Since I live in
Melissa
an old
knows
funeral
that
home.
very well, right?
So yeah, it's not that bad, honestly. So Gina asks, I recently bought a dream bag and would like to know if it contains a quince seed inside.
It does. Absolutely. Only because if you have spirits in your house and the dream bag is where it's supposed to be, under your pillow, then at least any earthbound spirits that are in your house cannot get close to you. And earthbound spirits cannot get into dreams. However, if they are in the room while you're sleeping, you could have really bizarre dreams, or like they're in technicolor, loud, where they wake you up, but it's not the ghost. And the ghost, like I said, earthbound spirits never get into dreams. So,
And our buddy Lewis says, "Hello, Marianne. I come bearing good news. I recently did the Law of Abundance, and today I got asked for a job interview. So congratulations, Lewis. I'm not sure if it's related, but he's very happy."
and Lewis, that's the law of abundance for you. It works in mysterious ways, and so congratulations. Just keep doing it every month, and you will be amazed at how much people just love doing it. It really does work.
So Helen asks, did you see a lot of ghosts in the hospital? And did you have a quince seed on you the whole time?
Oh my, Helen, you hit the nail right on the head on that one. The YouTube today at 5:30 is all about the ghosts in the hospital while I was in there. And because I do not carry a quince seed on me, and I went right from the doctor's office to the emergency room, I did not have a quince seed. I didn't think I was going to be staying. I thought I was just dehydrated. And if I had known that Ted had left, and had I known that, I would have taken his quince seed. But once I was in the hospital, I was allowed no visitors. So there were a couple ghosts that got up and close and a little personal while I was in there. But again, that'll be the topic at 5:30 today on YouTube.
Well, and it's funny because Lewis just said, lagging. Hospital visits are going to make for some great content.
From the pad where I walked through the emergency room door to the day I left, there a lot of ghosts.
So Tara says, "Hello, Mary Ann. Glad you are better. My question is,
No, smudging does not make a portal or an opening for them to cross over. All smudging does is make them very lethargic, very laid back, where they can't get your energy, they can't do anything that they shouldn't be doing. Again, it only lasts for about 12 to 14 days. So if you smudge, you've got to be very consistent doing it. Don't miss any place. Don't miss inside of a closet. Don't miss getting smoke in an attic area, a crawl space, the attached garage. The one place you do not get the smoke is where they are going to be hiding. So, but no, it will not. If you are persistent, you do it long enough, they may get disgusted and leave, but they will not be going to the white light.
All right, some more. Glad you're feeling better. Glad to see us both. And we still need a plan a trip out to DC and go do the ghost hunt in that library.
I would like to.
It'll be fun. So yeah, guys, feel free to ask questions. Thank you for all of the well-wishing, and glad Marianne's back. Let's see. Somebody asked you, and now it's jumping. Sim B says that they wrote you a letter and for you to please call them. Maybe
everything
Sim,
is,
if you could
I think
tell
I
us
know
what your
who
full
this
name
is. No, I believe I know who this is. I did get your letter, but my office is the last place that I've been in the last 2 weeks. So just I will get to you, believe me. The other thing is somebody called and left a message, actually more than one person, that they are a little upset about the commercials or the advertising in the YouTube. I have no control over that. That's what YouTube does. There's a button. If you don't want to watch the advertising, push it. I have no control over that. I don't even know what they look like. I've never seen it. So, but I'm sorry about that. But like I said, you don't have to watch the advertisements if you do not want to.
Oh, and then Tara had the follow-up that said, because you mentioned her grandmother may be there, and she would really like for her grandmother to cross over and be at peace.
Write a letter to your grandmother and leave it out on one side of a piece of paper, and tell her to go to the funeral home that she was viewed at, or the funeral home that took care of her before she was buried, when there's another service going on, and to use that person's white light. It is not an individual light, it's a universal light. So all you have to do is use that white light, and she can cross over that way. But you're going to have to put it on only one side of a paper, put it on your kitchen table, put it on your refrigerator, so that if she's walking through the house, she can see it. But that's the best way that you're going to get her to cross over if she wants to.
Asks, can spirits of pets who have passed come back to visit?
Absolutely. And they make choices too, whether to go into the white light or not. I think most of you know that my Bashan has been with me now for over 30 years. I can't get him to cross. He won't cross. I'll just take him with me when I finally die, which I thought was going to be sooner than later lately. But anyway, yes, and they can come in dreams, absolutely. And a lot of times they will visit. Sometimes it's a dead giveaway if you hear toenails on the hardwood floor, the linoleum, or you feel like somebody jumped on the bed, or felt like that's what the dog or cat used to do when they were alive. They jump up on the bed. You could actually feel the jump on the bed. So yes, pets absolutely do visit.
Oh, excuse me. So Nadia, hope I said that correctly. In the day my neighbor died, he passed through me, him, gave me chills. I had other experiences. Does this mean I can develop this?
Okay. Number one, he did not.
Sounds a lot like Psychopomp.
Not walk through you. He could have been standing right next to you, right in your space, and that is what you felt. This is not TV. This is not the movies. Ghosts do not walk through you. You don't sit on them. They don't sit on you. Again, not TV, not the movies. Now, this is something that if it's something that you want to develop, and get stronger at sensing them or whatever, then you're going to have to read, or start taking classes someplace. I don't know where you live, but get hold of the Goddess Elite, Melissa Storr. She has classes online, and definitely, but you need to develop it, and you need to develop it safely. So don't just start doing crazy things. Try to take classes. And I tell people that read books. Reading books is wonderful. I mean, you have to remember 50 years ago when I started doing this, nobody talked about this. I mean, I did it before that, but when I started doing it for people, and there were no classes, there were no books, there was no TV shows about this. I mean, nothing. So I read books. I can tell you the books that I read were amazing. And they're still all available. But I did learn this, just like my books. Read my books, read any books, save half of what you read and throw out the rest. Anything I write about works for me. That does not mean it's going to work for you. You have to develop your own skills. So again, get hold of the Goddess Elite and see if you can't get on a class.
We actually have the shaman apprenticeship starting in May, but it's kind of it can be a long commitment if you take the whole thing. It's like an 8-month thing, but it's a lot of intensive work, and you come out knowing yourself so much better than when you went in, and being more confident.
Well, again, if this is if this is something that somebody really wants to do, then you're going to have to make the commitment. You can't do, well, today I'm going to do tarot cards, and next week I'm going to try pendulum, and God forbid a Ouija board. You know, I'm going to go to a cemetery and look for ghosts. Haha, they're not there. So, take the course, learn what you need to learn.
Let's see. So kind of in a reference to us talking about going to DC with Divine Woo, Christina says, I would love to go do a visit at the White House with us. I don't know if they would let us do a ghost hunt in the White House. That was the first time I saw a full body apparition, and it was Abraham Lincoln. That's kind of nifty.
Interesting. And again, we don't know.
There's a lot of stories.
There's a lot of stories. When I was a Girl Scout and our troop went to Washington, D.C. by train, and we did get to go into the White House and other buildings in Washington, D.C. And yes, there are a lot of earthbound spirits in Washington, D.C. But I also think there's a lot of, and we'll use Abraham Lincoln as an example, people like him that have crossed over, but are still curious to know how the government has developed. Probably rolling around in their graves right now. But at any rate, maybe you saw an apparition of him not being an earthbound spirit, but being one that is just back for a visit.
Sorry, I keep muting myself because all of the birds and everything. I'm like, you guys are loud. Lewis, yay, says his hand is healed, by the way. Marian and I compared what stories we thought happened. That would be a fun gathering of things. Did you make the white light for all the ghosts who were there if they wanted to cross over?
I did. There were some that I did cross over, some that didn't want to cross over. And again, that will definitely be on the YouTube this afternoon at 5:30 on who they were, where they came, and it is. You know what? I wasn't working But seriously, I really was working. So
I did it last full moon. Should have been new moon. But did you just leave the paper, or do you just leave the paper laying out on a desk? I assume it needs to be.
no, absolutely not. Once you write it, put it wherever you're storing all the other ones. And again, it is the new moon. And I have to laugh that this new moon has been on the Facebook and my website for years now, with all the instructions how to do it. And every time it's posted, it's just amazing to me how many people just, how do you do it? Where do you do it? I don't know what to do. And I think beside me being, are you kidding me? You can't go look at the point on the computer that says new moon and read what you're supposed to do, I think is actually starting to aggravate some of the regular people, because there was a lady, Ted said, I believe her, just the first name Marie, that she actually told somebody off about, can't you go look it up yourself? So, you know what? It's not hard to do, but it is definitely the full moon, not the full moon, definitely a new moon. And it was this past Sunday. So
I was kind of considering, after how many times the same questions keep getting answered or asked and answered, that maybe we'll have to look ahead, find a new moon that's happening in the daytime, kind of, and you and I go live and like, all right, we're all gonna do this together.
right. And this would have been the perfect
now
one
you'll
to
know how
do.
to do it. And
if this would have been the perfect one to do, because
well, there goes my
it was at 10:30 in the evening, so we had from midnight until 10:30 p.m. to do it. But we'll find another one will show up. We will try that, absolutely.
And let's see. Oh, Peyton. Hey, Peyton. Happy Wednesday. More positive question this week. I keep finding dimes everywhere in the most random, bizarre places. Only dimes, no other coins. Does that have a significance meaning?
Yes, actually, Peyton, it does. It used to be people would find pennies. And, grandma left me a penny, she was visiting. Well, it turns out it's just not pennies, it's any coin. And I mean, inflation has gotten everybody, so it doesn't surprise me that it's every coin. Here's the trick to finding a coin, no matter which one it is. If it's tails up, pick it up, turn it back to heads up, and lay it back down where you found it. It wasn't meant for you. If you find a coin that's face up, that coin is for you. Look at the date on the coin. They all have a date on them, a year. See if that year is significant to you. Was somebody born that year? Did somebody die that year? Did somebody get married that year? It's usually a hint of who's leaving it. So don't go scooping up all the coins you find laying around, because they're not all going to be for you. Let whoever's supposed to find them find them.
Okay. Karen asks, have you ever seen dogs in the hospitals that they've like crossed over, but they're still following their humans around, trying to keep up with them, make sure they're okay?
I did not see Major at the hospital. He's a real comfort creature. I'm sure he was on the couch because I wasn't home to yell at him to get off. So he was probably just fine with me in the hospital. And he would keep Ted company anyway. Yes, earthbound spirits can follow their masters or their owners around, but you will definitely, again, Karen, see them in dreams. We used to show dogs, which and there were dogs, absolutely dogs that were show dogs that were with their, believe it or not, handlers, not so much their owners, but with their handlers at the bigger shows. Well, any show actually. So, yes, but they do stick around, especially if it was a dog that was up in years and you'd had them. I mean, like they were part of your life. Let's face it, our pets are our children nowadays. So, yes, of course, they're going to stick around with you.
Okay. So Abel has a pretty big question. Says, I had a very lucid dream last night. There was water rushing from every direction into a big city. There were people dying all around me. It was really intense, and I woke up feeling sick and had horrible pressure behind my eyes. I've had premonitions in the past, and it runs in my family, and it always gives me a headache and sick feeling. Has this ever happened to you? Do you have any guidance? Please and thank you.
Boy, if you did need something bizarre before you went to bed last night, I don't know where that could have came from. You may have an earthbound spirit in your bedroom, or in your house, that when you sleep, it's in the bedroom. And again, I referred to that before about having bizarre dreams, loud, scary dreams. So it could be that. I have had dreams that give me things that are going to happen, but I have found out that most dreams, and if you talk to a dream interpreter, which I am not, but if you talk to a dream interpreter, like fire means something, water means something. It doesn't mean water, it means something else. That drove me crazy. And so I wouldn't do it anymore. And because it's like, what do I care if a duck crosses the road? What is that supposed to mean? I don't know, and I don't really care. So, but you would have to more talk to a dream interpreter and find out your answer. But before you do that, make sure that you don't have any earthbound spirits in your house. Come on one of the Zooms and check it out to make sure that, there's the house is clear. The next Zoom is this Friday, actually. There's only 3 places left, I believe. But the next one will be on Monday. No, we don't know yet, but there will be at least one in May also. That'll be announced later.
Monday.
It is going to be Monday? Yes, we did say that.
Yeah, the 17th.
Monday. The 17th. Okay. Still running on 2 degrees back. Yeah. But yeah, so try to come on that and eliminate things before you think it's something that it's not.
Oh, okay, Lewis. Bringing it back to fashion. I heard that somewhere wearing certain colors can attract certain energy. Is this true? Actually, it can, and it also puts off energy, which is why color working, like if you have prayer or intention spell work, people try to match the color of their candles, the color of their stones, the property of their stones. So there is. There was like some reports like you painted in yellow, and it's a very off-putting color to be surrounded by it. It's very anxious feeling. And so the hospitals started coming off in those off shades of whites in light blues, because blue is very calming and very healing. Behind colors and the reasoning behind using certain ones. And while we're at it, we'll just throw out there, black is not an evil color. It's actually related into wisdom, which is why graduation gowns are black, because you've reached a higher wisdom level. And it's also for protection. So it's the hiding, it's the concealing. It's not evil. It's not black. It's just, but there's a a lot of reasoning behind the energy of colors and using certain colors for that purpose. So that's the short answer. Marianne, what have you say?
I really don't know anything about that. The only thing that I know is that, and again, with the law of abundance, yellow seems to attract it better than the other colors. Somebody said, oh no, it must be green because green is money. Well, maybe green is American money, but that's not everybody's color for everybody's choice in the world. And so, but I have personally found yellow. That's why writing a check out or making a check out on a yellow legal pad is terrific. If you don't want to do anything else. So that's all I know. I mean, I know when I see negative energy on people, that's a different kind of energy. And so the colors are different on that. It can go from a light gray, the color that I'm wearing, to charcoal gray, to dark blue, to navy blue, obviously to black, which has nothing to do with what Melissa just explained. This is something totally different. This is negative energy on people. I don't see auras on people. People that can tell, I know, and maybe Melissa knows that, I know there's certain auras around people that mean something, but again, I don't know what.
Mm-hmm. And despite what people might think, like, you cannot not have an aura. If you are alive, you have an aura. So you can, however, pull, and your aura is really your energy bubble around you. And if you're somebody that you keep everything in, well, your aura is going to be close to you versus out and about. So this lady said, I had no aura, I have a curse on. Well, don't go back there. They're lying to you. And I'm sure they wanted you to pay hundreds of dollars to get said curse removed. So don't go back. Okay.
Anybody,
off my soapbox.
Right. And seriously, referring to curses, if you think you do have negative energy on you, go to the library and get When Ghosts Speak. And the last chapter in this book tells you how to remove negative energy off of a person, place, or thing. If you don't, or if a person doesn't, and you do the little ceremony, you're not going to get one. If you don't do it right, it's not going to make it worse if you have one. So it's a total win-win situation. And like I said, you don't even have to pay to buy the book. Go to the library and get it. It'll cost you nothing to remove the negative energy.
Here says, I had a dream after my mom's passing. In my dream, I asked her if she was in heaven, and she said her reply was to go through the doors, and he's wondering what might that mean.
I think that some people, and this is my opinion, I do not know this for a fact, but I believe that when you die and you do go to heaven, you go in at a certain level. And I think it's your choice which level that you would like to be in. And if it's the same door that Mother Teresa went through, then you're probably done. If it's a door that some murderer went through that was a lower level, that's where I believe karma comes in. You keep coming back and you get it right till you go through the right door. That's my opinion, however. Remember, I do not see spirits that have crossed over. I have to talk to them in a dream like everybody else. So I don't know that for sure. And when you ask somebody in a dream, are you in heaven? If they look younger, if they look happy, then they're probably exactly where they're supposed to be. If you have a dream about somebody that's a bad dream, it's a scary dream, they're saying, come with me, that is not them in your dream. That is you having a dream about them. And that's a total different thing. So I think your mother sounds like she's fine, but again, you know, that would be my assumption.
Says sometimes when I'm sitting in the living room, it feels like my hair is being touched. It's very subtle. Don't know if it's just me or an earthbound spirit.
Natalie, maybe it's maybe it's a loved one that died and is just there for a visit. And a lot of people, I'm going to think of my grandmother or an older aunt or an older relative. When they see you, they pat your hair or they, pat your cheek or something like that. Don't automatically go to it being earthbound. That doesn't always mean that that's what it is. So, and again, call, check to make sure the house is clear, or, come on a Zoom. The other thing too is that sometimes, like if you have a nosy ghost in the neighborhood that's an earthbound spirit, maybe you're only having something happen in your house once or twice a month. So this is a busy little bee ghost running around to all these houses, being snoopy, being nosy, doing who knows what. And so that doesn't mean that you have something with you 24/7. It definitely just means that maybe you have somebody popping in and out. So you need to check it out before you know what they say about assuming. So you need to check it out first.
Oh, right. Rebecca asked, how often do ghosts follow children from home to home? Like if they're going back and forth between mom and dad's house?
That's a bad situation, Rebecca. It really is, because mom's house could be clear, but dad's house is not. And there are certain things that can be done, way too long to go on to here, but a way to help the child. You can usually tell if the child comes home cranky or crabby or tired or out of sorts, then somebody is bugging that child in the opposite house of where they are at. So it absolutely, it normally, from what I've seen over the years, normally if that ghost is in dad's house, it does not come back to mom's. If it's in mom's house, it doesn't go back to dad's. They usually don't come back and forth unless it's a kid ghost. And if it's a kid ghost, earthbound, then yes, it will follow the child from one parent's house to another, but not necessarily an adult earthbound spirit.
All right. All right. There was a question about signing up for that shaman class. I'll put the banner up a little later at the end. That will have the address. I agree, Lewis. People who wear black lead colorful lives, because I mostly am black. I default because, hey, it's a slimming color. And black matches everything except itself, because you cannot wear old black and new black.
That's for sure. No two blacks match at all.
See.
And look, and Zorro always wore black, and he had a colorful life.
And so did the Dread Pirate Roberts. I mean, he always walked around in black.
That's right.
Because, Princess Bride fan. But yeah, guys, feel free to keep asking questions as I'm sifting through. Got a little bit of a lag, so I'll have none and then a whole bunch will pop up. Yeah. Marianne, everybody's saying they're still glad to see that you're back. Are earthbound children harder to cross over? Do you think it has to do because of their family?
Good question, Sandra. I assumed, which again, you know what the definition of that is, I should never have done that when I would run across an earthbound child, that they would automatically want to see a grandma, a grandpa, a mom, a dad, somebody. Boy, was I ever wrong. And I have learned to ask the child, who would you like to see? And let them give me an answer, because as we know, there's all kinds of bad parents and the kids don't want to see them. So that's what I've learned to do. Believe it or not, it's been, I want to see my dog. I want to see my next door neighbor. I loved her. I want to see my horse. And do I know if the horse or the dog are there or not? No, but I sure do tell the kid they are. As a matter of fact, the one kid wanted to see his dog. His dog's name was Sam. He says, I want to see Sam. And I said, okay. I said, if you go on the light, you'll see Sam. And this kid, he died like in 1924 or something. He was around for a long time. And he looked at me and he said, lady, are you telling me the truth? I said, oh, yeah. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So he was about 10 years old. So I made the white light and he starts walking toward it. Typical 10-year-old, like slowly dragging his feet, looking back at me, looking forward at the white light. And then he started going. And then all of a sudden he said, hey, lady, there's Sam. It's like, yay, there's Sam. So, yes, kids, I could usually get kids to cross over pretty easy.
If a person is cursed and works the law of abundance, would that bring more bad things to their life, or would it even work because of the curse? Would it negate the law of abundance? Good question, Maura.
It wouldn't. Yeah, definitely good. It would not hurt the law of abundance at all, because that's something, you're talking two different things. So no, it would not make any negative energy on you worse, and it would not stop anything good from coming toward, for you from the law of abundance. Now, if the negative energy on you was the three things that usually affects our health, money, and relationships, if it was a curse that was put on you to never have wealth or never be out of debt or something like that, then the law of abundance would work in your favor for something other than money. And don't forget, it can work on a whole bunch. It can work on, some lady got a kidney, some lady, believe me, you can get all kinds of things. So no, the negative energy. But if you think that's what you've got, go to the library and get the book and get rid of it. Just get rid of it.
Let's see. There was a question about energy. Aha, there it is. Christina says she wishes we could come do a visit at the college she works for, that she thinks there's a lot of energy in campuses. And I'm sure you're going to tell us all that there's tons on a college campus.
College campuses are full. I do so many lectures on college campuses. As a matter of fact, when Ghost Whisperer was in production for the month of September, October, of course, Halloween, I signed up with some man that a company that did tours of colleges and did lectures, and I signed up with them. And oh my God, it was amazing. I mean, from Delaware to Penn State. I talk at the College of Worcester at least, usually once a year. So yes, and it's usually goes between the ages of 18 and 23, 24 years old. And they're going to hang out with their peers, people their own age. So yes, and if there is a really good actors, what's it called? People that do, classes on acting and put on shows and stuff like that, then there even seems to be more in that department. And I can't think of the name of that department. But anyway, a theater. Thanks, hon. The theater person, that for sure, there's going to be more. I'm telling you, the mind's the first to go.
That's why I always keep. So Peyton says, speaking of fashion, because we've got Lewis giving some fashion advice out there about white and black, and she says Quincy charms look good and works great. Shameless plug for Mary Ann. Glad they're working for you, Peyton.
Work, that's for sure.
And speaking back to the dream question, Linda says, decades ago when I still ate chocolate and dairy products, eating any form of chocolate in combination with any milk product before bed resulted in nightmares. And it's only funny for this because there's a lady that I watch online. She's got these hilarious videos of her sleepwalking, and sometimes she gets out of the house and her husband has to go chase her down. But whenever she eats dairy before, in the evening before bed, she's always sleepwalking. So, and sometimes they're pretty hilarious. And I sometimes feel bad for her husband because he's got to stand guard just to make sure she doesn't wander off too far.
Chain her to the
when
bed.
She gets out of the house. Let's see. Oh, we're almost at the end. Oh, Lewis, can the law of abundance work for attracting people? He wants a man in his life. I wouldn't see why it couldn't. If it can bring a kidney, why can't it bring the rest of the human too?
What's it gonna take? 5 minutes to write it out? Try.
We'll see. And Linda agrees. I don't see why not, Lewis. So, we're all rooting for you, hon. Let's see. This is a good one to contemplate. Adam asks, if an astronaut dies in space, do you think their spirit can still come back to Earth, or are they stuck in space?
They definitely can come back to Earth. Anybody that astroplanes can go anywhere and they come back to their body. So no. And the same thing when a person dies in Cleveland, but they have a bunch of relatives in California, there's no reason within a minute they can't be from here to there to see their relatives. And of course they can come back. So no, that would not make any difference at all. None.
So he said, instead of a $, I just draw a little sketch of a guy.
My suggestion would be, instead of drawing a little sketch of a guy, because you really don't want to end up with the cartoon character, why don't you take a magazine and find 90% of what you're looking for, and when you write out your law of abundance, take that picture on the law of abundance.
It's going to be a really big check, possibly. Unless we
Maybe
can
just the
down.
face will work. Yeah.
That's good though. That was hilarious. we missed you, Lewis. Let's see. Marisol asks, I'm wondering if my current health issues and low energy has something to do with anything around me or in my house, or others who have passed, like my ex or my husband's ex-wife.
Ex-wives and ex-husbands show up quite a bit. Besides being sometimes the main reason for somebody having negative energy on them, that could be another reason. And again, the only thing, I am seriously running back on calls, but call or try to come on a Zoom and let's see if somebody's in the house with you. I can't talk to them. I can't get rid of them, but at least you'll know if somebody's there, and I'll give you suggestions on different things to try on your own. I mean, unless you live down the street from me and you've had both of your COVID shots, I'm not coming. But, you know, things are starting to loosen up a little bit. So, but seriously, get on something and find out, especially when your health is involved.
Now Lewis has started something because now Sandy says she's going to do that with, but now the picture will be the fancy sports car. So we have a whole new trend getting ready to start.
Yeah, but isn't there some kind of, it was really popular like 4 or 5 years ago where people got a big sheet of cardboard, or, you know, and they put pictures on an island or Hawaii or a house or a car, and they put it like inside their closet door. And every time they opened the door, they visualized it. And apparently there is some validity to that. It really does work. So, you know, there was a name for it, but I don't remember what it is. Melissa, do you remember?
Yeah, vision boards.
Oh, that was hard.
Making the vision boards to put the pictures up.
Right. Okay.
So let's see here. So we have a question and maybe a suggestion from Australia. Oh, I love that puppy dog face. Have you considered doing Real Ghost Whisper Reacts to videos where you try to debunk, explain, or react to viral images or videos of ghosts online?
Yeah, I don't think I would want to do that. I am not a favorite person of a lot of ghost hunters because I don't always, well, hardly, usually never agree with their opinions or what they're saying they're doing. I will still never understand why everybody does this in the middle of the night. I have no idea. And I think the closest thing that I can come to with what you're talking about is the Zoom, because I can see them on that, even though I can't talk to them. But at my age, I wouldn't go around trying to get in anybody's face anymore. It's not worth the energy.
Yeah, that could get into some legal stuff, I think, depending on who they might be, and I don't think either one of us have time to do the legal battle and the defamation of character, slander, libel, all those fun things. Jessica asks, if a portal gets closed, could you see maybe what was coming out?
If a portal was closed and there had been an earthbound spirit out of the portal within 48 hours, 72 hours, I can usually pick up some residue. So, but after that, no, I cannot.
Let's see. When a bottle jumps alone, does that mean that it's negative entity? Sees or feels like there's a shadow around. I will say sometimes, depending on bottles and glasses, if they collect condensation and it creates that water ring, it's just science, and sometimes it can move because of that condensation. I don't know if that's what you mean by jump, and I love the fact that you are communicating with us in English, because I saw your comment about your English, and I wish I was multilingual. Or if it literally jumped off the table and it scoots, but yet there's that water ring, and so I try to follow to science.
And I agree with Melissa. A lot of times it is science. Not everything that happens in everybody's house is a ghost. And shadow people are not always earthbound spirits. Shadow people can be people that have crossed over and are back for a visit. So I don't think you need to worry. If you feel that you have shadow people in your house that you're not comfortable with, start smudging. And if you smudge on a regular basis, the only shadow people that will be able to come in at that point are ones that have crossed over. So, and yes, it jumped high. So that could mean that there is an earthbound spirit that moved it around. But again, without a phone call or a Zoom, I couldn't say for sure.
Yeah, and since we're already almost to our ending time, we have a couple spots left for the Zoom, and if anybody wants to sign up for that, let me find where all of my linking is. Here we go. Here is the link to sign up. It is $20. We limit it to, we're probably going to go with 20 people this time just to give Mary Ann, we don't want to wear her out. Everybody gets to ask 2 questions. It could be if you have earthbound spirits in your house, if you have negative energy or a curse on you, or if there's a portal. Everybody gets to ask questions. We go until everybody is done. If you sign up and you log off, that's on you. Please be mindful time. If you are out of that time zone, you need to adjust your time. Like I had to make sure to start the Zoom at 7 a.m. here to coincide with the 10 a.m. for Mary Ann. But it's okay. I've been up since like 4:30 because I'm still on Ohio time. We're 3 hours behind currently out here. So please be mindful of time change. Anybody from anywhere around the world can jump on with us. We actually like that. It's fun. So please join in. There's a couple spaces left for this coming one on Friday. I will be opening up the new dates when we're done with this. I don't want to overstress the internet connection right now by having too many things going. So keep that in mind. We did reschedule the Haunted Antlers Hotel event to May 1st. So if you aren't signed up and you want to be able to go, and you can, come join us in Lorain, downtown Lorain at the Haunted Antlers Hotel. That's going to be fun. That's from 12 to 3 on May 1st. And then in June, we will be at the Merry-Go-Round Museum with all of those creepy looking horses. It's going to be a fun time. I think those horses creep me out more than the invisible people. Said for dolls and clowns, so go figure. We're not going to talk about my issues today. So anybody who want to do sign up for the shaman program, here is the link for that. It's a wonderful program. You do not have to take the full. We have some people that go up to a certain point and then stop, and they kind of process that. And the next time that we offer it, you can pick up where you left off. This is excellent for anybody who is empathic and struggling with their empathy skills and are always feeling like they have to be protected, that they have to hide from the public, from other people around. This will help you learn how to understand, how to control that, and not feel overwhelmed, which is a wonderful, I think there's so many people now that try to run and hide instead of learning to stand in the confidence and actually be in control of that energy. Let's see. Marian, do you have any last parting words of wisdom or things for today? It's your first time back in 2-3 weeks.
No, let me just repeat, thank you for the prayers. I'm sure I got well faster because of all of them, believe me. And for those that want to get the blow by blow of what I remember when I was in the hospital, tune in at 5:30 today. And some of it's cute, some of it not so much, but that's okay.
I just posted the shaman link into the chat, guys, because I know it was up there and maybe you didn't get it. So it's in the link to get it, or feel free to reach out to Goddess Elite and I'll get it to you that way too. But Marianne, I'm so glad we're back to doing this. It's been
I am too. I'm
weird
looking
on my
forward-
last 2 Wednesdays. Like,
I know. Well, good luck with all your travels out there in Tucson, and I hope you find everything you're looking for. Be careful of snakes, and we'll talk to everybody on Friday.
well, when I was moving, yeah, I think I'm more worried about scorpions right now than I am snakes. Apparently, they are more of a thing to watch out for. So yeah, that's what I look around every now and then. Not looking to meet one of them up close and personal.
Better you than me.
Hey, we got to go to Ireland. Hello from Ireland.
Aw,
I will get there one of these days.
and there's no snakes.
All right, everybody. Hence St. Patty's Day. But the snakes were really the pagans, not the snakes.
Yeah, I know. So,
All right.
have a good week, everybody. And thanks for joining us.
We'll see you all next week. Same time, same channels. Oh, where'd my graphic go? I'm so disorganized today.